Yo, what's up YouTube? It's the Guru Beats here, and today I'm going to talk about the piano roll sequencer. And I'm going to do that. First off, if you haven't watched my tutorial on the pattern sequencer, then you're missing out, and you won't get what I'm talking to you about. So I recommend you go back and watch those videos. And the way you get to the piano roll is by right-clicking and hitting piano roll. And as you can see, the piano roll is basically, it looks like a piano on the left. And if you press it, it should make a sound. It also has octaves labeled. So here's C5, which is the middle C. C4, which starts out the bass C. C6, which is the treble C. And so on and so forth. This goes all the way to C0 and C10, by the way. The piano roll is basically almost like the pattern sequencer in the sense that you can left click to create things and right click to erase, and you could change the style of your piano here. If you click ABC, it goes back to the piano. If you click the piano, it goes back to all the notes labeled. And if you're beginning in music theory and such, I recommend you stay here on this particular setting, because going over to the piano means that you'll only see the C5 and maybe you won't know where F3 is, which by the way is up here, down here. So you might want to leave it on this setting. Another thing you can do is you can change the colors. By default, FL Studio has it on pink. So there. And I'm going to load up an instrument real quick so that you can get a feel for how this thing works. Yes. Of course, I can't hear anything because something happened with my there should work. There you go. Alright. That's really loud. And I'm going to record something. So I'm going to hit the metronome, set the tempo to maybe 99, and then record. Alright, so now that I finished recording, I could just leave it there. And as you can see, I did a horrible job in recording as these things aren't aligned. So you want to look up here to the snap mode. And yours by default is selected to cell. I really recommend you put it on a 4th beat because it's pretty much the same as align and cell snap. The only difference is that when you record, it records better and it snaps better. So the way you fix your alignment is by selecting everything by hitting Control A, and then going up here to the little arrow, hitting Tools, and Quick Quantize. That makes it so that everything quantizes according to the main quantization. And quantize is just a big word for fixing your recordings. Right now I'm going to adjust the release on this thing. Alright. There. Okay. So as you can, let's play this back again and see how it sounds. Of course, there are no sounds. Why is that? Well, that's because each individual sound needs to be stretched to its amount. And sometimes you'll get these notes where there are just a little click or whatever. Usually want to get rid of those. Sometimes you want to stretch them out. Whoa. And the way you fix this is by hitting Control and then left click. This makes it so that it automatically selects without you having to click the select option here. And a faster way, instead of going to Tools and Quantize, you can hit Control Q, and that makes it so that everything quantizes perfectly. So you want to make sure they are aligned and ready to go. So now that you have that, you want to play back, right? Right? Well, what happened there? Why didn't it go all the way to the end? Well, as you can see, this particular red is the selected, and you didn't deselect everything. So FL Studio is only going to play until up here. So the way you do that, instead of going through shit and everything, Control D. There you go. You always want to do that after doing some changes. Like say you want to select, you're going to select these and maybe delete them. Select these again and delete them. You can also hit the delete key on your keyboard so that it deletes it. Now that we have that, we could adjust the volume, the velocity on the bottom. So I don't like these notes up here, so I'm going to lower them a bit. Some instruments are made so that there are only two separate volumes, either on or off. It's up to you to find out which of your instruments have that, but it's a really rare occasion when that happens. So now that you have your volume adjusted and everything, you could just play. You could also, using the pattern sequencer along with the piano editor, you can right click. You could copy the selected notes, go to a different pattern, and paste them. And then you can edit them there for maybe a chorus or something. And you can flip back to the two. And if you have a full keyboard, I don't think laptops have this, but if you have a full keyboard, you can quickly shift through the patterns by hitting the right number keys, the ones that are aligned in a square shape, sort of. And don't forget to check your numlock. It's a quick way to access all the patterns. Anyways, back here, if you want to mute certain sounds for maybe a chorus, you click this particular button, which is the mute. It has like a speaker with an X on it, and select the ones you want to mute. And by right-clicking, you delete it. And if you accidentally make the mistake of deleting something, you hit Control Z to undo what you did. And so now that we have all the notes we want deleted, we could go ahead and hear it again. And now that's a creepy sound, but it got the job done. We muted these. So if you want to unmute them, you got it right. Just click them again. So now that we have this out of the way, let's load up a drum kit and see. Load up the FPC, the default, of course. And if you have a MPD controller or trigger finger or whatever, then it'll be easy for you to do this. You could actually record drum sounds as well. Okay. Sounds extremely scary, but there you go. See, sometimes when you record, you get these. You always want to make sure there aren't any on the beginning. So there you go. We have this thing recorded, and as you can see, it actually snapped correctly because of using this 4th beat snap. And of course, you can use different kinds of things. Using none is very useful if you are doing on-the-fly orchestra recording, or even for making your sounds sound better. So there you go. It actually displays the sounds here on the left side. If you didn't have that, if you had the keyboard, it wouldn't show shit. So that's great to keep in mind. So now that you know a little bit about the pattern sequencer and the piano roll, it's time to move on to the mixer. But that'll be next video. See you guys.